Good morning. My name is Ursel Murillo-Laureno. I am the school principal of Bethany Baptist Academy, and I am also a School of Tomorrow System Thoroughbred. So this morning, I am tasked to discuss to you the guidelines for remote learning, specifically on the diagnostic testing. So there are actually 3 options available for all of us. But before we go on to these options, I just want to remind all of us, it is actually in the procedures manual that we will be giving all of you, that the placing of students at their proper academic levels is the implementation of the first law of learning. So all the students must be in a level of curriculum where he can perform. This law determines the student's capability and aptitude and helps staff correctly place him on an academic level in each subject, where he has the most academic understanding and can make the greatest academic achievement. So we will still make use of this and keep this in mind when we're doing the online testing or even the diagnostic testing, or when you choose either of the options available that we can actually use during this time. So the first option that we have is we will send the diagnostic tests to the homes, and the school staff will be the ones who will administer them. So this type of option, or this option, is only or can only be possible during a general community quarantine or in a place where there is GCQ or a modified community quarantine, okay, or that we call MCQ. And this is actually subject to the implementing rules set by your local government unit. So this you have to check first if you can do this in your city or in your school. So in this option, or when this option is selected, parents must sign the certificate of consent. So that's very important on this type of option. Now the second that we have is the diagnostic test administered by parents at home. So this basically means that you will entrust everything, all the diagnostic testing procedure, to the parents. So this may be a little bit tricky, so you really need the parents' consent as well as their cooperation when you want to use this type, or when you want to use this option. And this is accomplished by sending these diagnostic tests, or the diagnostic tests that we have, the materials, to the family through delivery services. So maybe in the Luzon area, you may have Grab, or there's one other type of delivery service where the Lala Move, I remember. Yes, I think that's also available to places in Luzon. And maybe in Cebu area or the Visayas area, there could be some areas in around Visayas that can actually make use of, I don't know if there's Lala Move there too, and Grab Express or Grab Delivery. So yes, you need to send those materials, and once testing is done, these tests are to be sent back to the school for scoring and evaluation. Now, one thing that you need to consider also on this type of option, or this type of delivering the diagnostic test, is the time. So it will involve time for you to send out the diagnostic test and for the parents to also send back to you. And there are several items that you need to prepare to accomplish this option. Okay, and these are very important items you need to prepare to do this. First is the parent agreement to maintain confidentiality. So since all of the materials will be sent to the parents' house, they will have access to everything. So the parents will have to read, sign, and return that form with the test materials after they're done with the testing. Now, second, they need to send out, or you need to send out the general instructions for administering diagnostic tests at home. So this can be in paper form when you send out the materials, or maybe you can send them an email on how to do this in the diagnostic testing at home. So a general instruction must be sent to the parent and also to the student. All right. Now, tests in English, math, social studies, and science can be done through this type of diagnostic test option. Now, word building must be done with a school staff member. maybe what you can do is they can have a paper at home, and then you can ask the school staff to maybe call the student to do the spelling remotely, or you can have maybe one of the staff to go to the parent's house. So whichever works. Now, the third type of option that we have available is the online diagnostic test. Now, the online diagnostic test is actually my favorite because it's very fast and easy to use. Now, maybe fast for me, but the guidelines for remote learning for under diagnostic testing, we actually gave you a step-by-step guide on how to set up your own accounts for online testing. And I also made a video presentation. We made a video presentation for you to be guided on how to set up your own account online. So you just simply need to go to www.acediagnostictest.com. Now, for the question if should there be a charge for diagnostic tests, the answer would be a big yes. There should always be a charge for diagnostic testing, even if you use the online test. Although the online test is free, you still need capable staff to do all the necessary things, from setting the account of the students and doing everything and checking if the students are done with their online test at home. So yes, and also the charge covers either you use the paper test or the online testing. Now, the results of these tests would be sent to the host school, not the student. Especially the online diagnostic test, you need to set up where or what email should the test be sent. So the school will be the ones who will set up the account, and you need to indicate there your email address, the official email address of the school. Now, for using online diagnostic tests, like I said, I made a video presentation for you, a step-by-step guide for all of you to be guided on how to set up your own account, and also how to set up an account for your students. And before I present to you that video, I just would like to emphasize some considerations or several issues that we have for online testing. And number one of the issues that we are actually thinking and want you to be guided is that not all of our subject is covered by the online testing. So this would include tests in Filipino and Araling Panlipunan, as well as math. So this test should be done in paper. Now, the online math test that we have in the online or the website at aceministries.com is not applicable to the Philippines because we are not using the same edition. I think the one in the online test is already using the 4th ed, and our paces are still in 3rd ed. So therefore, it is not wise to use the online math tests using the aceministries.com. All right, and the third consideration is that paper testing still has an advantage over the online version. Why? Because you'll get to see and check the diagnostic tests and see if there are just carelessness on the parts of the students why they were not able to pass that specific PACE number. Because when you use the online test, you will be sent only the results. So you will know which PACE numbers the students failed, but you do not get to check which part of the test they did not know. So considering that, I think that would be one advantage for paper testing, because we can just consider if there are parts of the test that are just due to carelessness or maybe a lack of mastery. So yeah, those are the three considerations that we want to raise before I move forward into guiding you more in online testing, because I think this may be the option that most of you will be considering, and I'm sure there are a lot of questions for all of you on how to set up your accounts and how to do this and that. And I will tell you more about the online, how to do the online testing after you watch this video. So you have now watched the video that I have prepared for you on how to set up your account for online diagnostic testing. And you may have questions why what I used in the video is the website www.acdiagnostictest.com/diagnostic tests, because I find this site when you enter this site, you will go straight to the portion where you will need to log in or register. So in the website, the one that we use in the RLCE manual is the step-by-step where you need to go to aceministries.com first, and you may be wondering why it's different from the general information that we sent you. So actually, you would still go to the same page where you need to log in. The one I just prepared for you is the easiest. You just go straight to the portion where you can log in. So once you're in that page, as seen in the video, you simply need to put your username and password, and if you don't have an account yet, that's when you need to follow the step-by-step guide on how to register your school. Now, one thing that I use in my school is I use 2 accounts, because there were times that there are 2 students or maybe 3 or more. You may find students doing the test simultaneously on the same day, or the same, they do the test the same day. So they cannot use that it may cause problems. I don't know, I haven't tried it yet, but what I did was make 2 accounts for my school, and every other student that I give the username and password to is that I change the password every time. This would also limit the students' access to the test once they're done. So that's what I do. Now, on the website, you were guided on how to do the students, how to add students, how to add new student, and also you need to set up the beginning level and all that. And I also actually prepared another video for the student side. This video is for the student, so that they will be guided on how to take the test after you give out everything. One thing that you need to note is that the username and password that you use to make your account is actually the same username and password that you will give to the student every time. This is why I told you that every other student I change our account's password, so that the next student would not use the same password, and the student that used it after the student is done with her test or his test, he will not be able to access our system. All right. So here's the video. This is just really brief. Now, here's the video for the students, so they will be guided also in how to do the testing online. for watching the video. So that's the video for the students. You can actually, if you want a copy of this, I can send this to you after the seminar, and you can just give me your email addresses so I can send the copy. All right. Now, before I end, I just want to discuss a little on the parents' agreement to maintain confidentiality, especially when you need to use the paper test where you need to send the entire material or the entire diagnostic test materials in your student's home. So it is actually included in the manual for remote learning under diagnostic testing that we have a copy of a parent's agreement to maintain confidentiality. And it's very important that the parents sign them. So I just want to emphasize that, because this will ensure that we are safe, while we are, suffering from, I don't know, whatever it is that we are facing right now, with COVID and everything, and our LGU being very strict in terms of, especially with the schools. They are very strict. So this would protect your schools. Now, make sure that the parents really sign them before you do anything else with the test materials. And also, the general instructions for administering diagnostic tests at home should be prepared and should be with the materials that you will send out. All right. And also, if you use the option where you need a school staff to visit the student's home, you need to have the parents also sign the certificate of consent for home visits for school staff. This would also protect you, your staff, the necessary, whatever problems, legal problems or legal implications this may cause our school. So at least it will save you the trouble and also protect you legally. I hope that you have learned something from me today and from the remote learning under diagnostic testing. And if you have questions, you can ask them after my talk. Thank you very much, and you all have a good day.